All right, Kristin. So a lot of people have a lot of questions about why you talk the way you talk, and with like your body movements and stuff that you can't control. And do people understand, or just assume that something is wrong with you? Do you actually have the opportunity to tell them what happened to you when you were younger?
Well, some people do some things, but whenever I do get the opportunity, I do tell them. When I first got here in '09, I heard that I had Down syndrome. I'm retarded, and just extra stuff like that.
So what actually happened to you that caused your speech impediment and your uncontrollable body movements?
Well, when I was 2 years old, I got into a life-threatening car accident. And my mother and I were about to leave the house and go to McDonald's.
McDonald's. You laughing at that, huh? That's funny because you realize you fat. 2 years old, feeding you McDonald's. Go ahead. So y'all was going to McDonald's.
We were going to McDonald's to meet my father for lunch.
Okay.
And so the story is, she put me in the back seat, but I started crying. So she moved me up in the front seat.
Now, were you in the baby chair at the time?
No.
So you just loose as could be.
Loose and wild.
Loose and wild.
I was in the front seat, but I wasn't in the car seat or in a seatbelt at all.
So you just sitting?
Yes.
Okay.
So, once my mom and I leave the house, we riding around Georgia, and we're at this 4-way stop sign. And while we're at the stop sign, this older lady comes from the side that I'm sitting on, and she's about 80-something years old.
So it's an older woman that hit y'all.
Yes, and she thought she had pressed the brake, but she had pressed the accelerator by mistake and hit me on my side. And after that, I immediately hit the windshield twice.
Twice?
Yes, second time breaking the glass.
Oh, goodness. So you was like a human wrecking ball inside there. And not that it's funny, but you got bounced around quite a bit, huh?
Right.
Shook you up. You was 2.
Yes.
Wow. So after the crash, of course, you got rushed to the hospital and things like that. Did they know exactly what happened to you?
I'm not sure, but they did find out that my brain was so swollen. They told my mom that she may not make it through the night. And if I did make it through the night, I possibly would be a vegetable. And a vegetable, for those of you who don't know in YouTube land, is a person who can't walk, talk, or recognize what's around them. Basically, they're suspended to a wheelchair.
Wow, so it was a high chance of you becoming one of them, huh?
Right.
Wow.
And my brain was so damaged. They said I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and my mom stayed by my bedside like every day. And I know, and when I woke up, like she was out of the room, and the doctors were just saying, Kristin, I wouldn't move, so they thought I was a goner for sure.
So as far as that's concerned, you done. You just moved on.
Right, for sure. And then when my mom came back to the room, they said, Miss Henley, I'm sorry, but she won't do anything. We tried calling her name, and my mom told me, as I remember this story, that she said, Kristin, and suddenly my head moved.
Wow. So you like a miracle baby of some sort.
Yes.
So as you got older, how long were you in the coma for good? Was it just 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So as you got older, of course, growing up with the symptoms or the damage that was done in the accident, what was the treatment like that you had to go through to get you back into?
Well, I had to learn basically everything.
So you had to learn how to speak again, walk, talk, all that stuff?
I went through speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy.
It's a lot of therapy.
Yes.
Did your mom pay for that out of pocket?
I had no clue.
You don't know where that money came from, huh? You must have some good insurance back then.
Hopefully, like, I was on insurance.
Right. So what was the hardest part of this therapy? What was the hardest part? Was it be able to speak or use your legs? Or?
No, actually, I really can't remember any hard parts because I was a baby, and as I got older and started going, I loved it.
So you enjoy going to therapy?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, don't get any ideas.
I'm not. See, that's where your mind is at. Okay, so about like when you got into high school per se, of course, you know, your speech got better, right?
Right.
But it was still noticeable,
right,
impediments in your body movements, and
When I got to high school,
what people mean to you and not or nice, they didn't have nice things to say.
People weren't really mean to me as much, but when I was at my last high school, I went to 3 high schools just because I didn't like the second high school I was at, so I just moved to another one. And that's when I noticed people really talking around behind my back, and I really didn't pay any much attention to it because I always told myself I was going to be somebody and that I'm going to succeed in life. Now, elementary, that's the hard part.
That was the hard part.
Because people would say, oh, are you retarded? Why you talk like that, dude? You sound like a baby. And back then, you know, like, I really didn't have any self-esteem, so I would just cry.
They would make you cry about those questions they would ask you. You felt ashamed and you didn't feel like you was like everybody else.
Right.
Made you feel different. Wow. So now let's fast forward. Okay, now you in college, right?
Right.
You made it to college. How did people perceive you here once you landed at Wilberforce?
I mean, they love me. I'm funny. I'm fun to be around with. Everybody wants to be around me. I have my friends, but you know, being here at a small college, like you see everybody and you really know everybody. So So when I'm walking through the halls, everybody's like, "Hey, Kristin, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm cool. Hey, what's up?" But then I do have my group of friends that I hang around with a lot.
So, has this disability kind of made you a strong-willed, determined person? So did disability like kind of help you gain like identity within yourself, like being strong-spirited and
Yes.
determined to succeed and let people not bring you down about the things they say?
Yes.
And that's why you started writing in high school, right?
Right.
Good.
Because the reason I started writing poetry was because, like, I was just sitting in study hall one day, and this was like when I was 14 going on 15, or maybe I was 15 then, but I was just thinking of all the mean things that were being said about me over the years, and I just started to write. And that's when I discovered to write poetry.
Nice. Well, that's Kristin's story, huh? So this is why you talk like that and your body moves is because of the car crash. So hopefully this cleared it up for people, right, who have misconceptions about you, right?